I'm pushing up.
Rotate.
No, they're rotating back. They're rotating back. They're
They're gonna go. Just rotate, guys. Just rotate. Give it up. Just give it up. Nice. Rotate.
Greetings and welcome to episode number 3 of the Rotation podcast with Z-Hack, and the CDL season is upon us. We are T-5 hours until the opening week, hosted by Atlanta FaZe, which means we have so much to talk about on this edition of the Rotation. So why not hop straight into it with some first blood? And the first topic I want to bring up, we're talking about Crimsix. This guy's got some beef. We saw it drop a couple weeks ago on Twitter. Him and the rookie from the Florida Mutineers, Neptune, they were going back and forth about a little GA action on Twitter, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents on it in this first blood take. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with the situation, basically what had happened was we're talking about auto tac sprint. And if you aren't too familiar with Call of Duty, you're just getting into competitive and listening to the podcast here, basically what auto tac sprint is in Call of Duty, instead of having to take your Scuff controller right here, shout out Scuff Gaming, we love you guys, instead of having to go and always click down to initiate your sprint, basically every time you move your stick forward, your guy will automatically start running. It gives you an advantage. It's that split second, millisecond thing that makes such a big difference, especially on the competitive level and at the level that these guys play at. They're the best of the best. They're professionals for a reason. So any split second advantage, something like that, these guys have sort of deemed unfair and been able to put it in the GA system, the gentleman's agreement, and basically say, hey, we're not using auto tac sprint. It gives you insane movement. You can honestly be trash at the game and just like any random guy who runs in pubs, and that can give you such a movement advantage where it doesn't actually test your skill of how you learn the game. So basically, what Crim is saying is that Neptune had been using this during scrims and even possibly at the Kickoff Classic weekend, and then things just kind of blew up on Twitter. Neptune had a huge performance. We're not going to discredit anything he did in the Kickoff Classic, and then Crim came out and said this and then posted a screenshot dropping like 65 kills on a Crossroads hardpoint and said, drop that on your 18-year-old head to Neptune, and it just blew up and everyone was coming at Crim, and Neptune slacked, even hopped in himself to defend Neptune and said, Crim, he's not using ATS, man. Like, lay off the kid. And Crim said, Jerry, stay out of it unless you want me to think that he is using it, because if you're coming to defend him, then this, that, and the third. So it kind of all blew up out of proportion. And listen, we don't know what the deal is. It had been rumored that back in MW, Crim had scrimmed with ATS on to see if anybody could notice and be like, yo, this guy's not following GAs. He's using auto tac sprint, and it went undetected for like 6 games or something like that. So it's kind of hard to tell if someone's using it or not, because you see insane movement like Shotzi, Neptune, who had it, and then even some of these other guys throughout the league who have the best movement. I would put Simp on top of the pedestal, Envoy up there, a lot of these guys who play fast-paced, and it makes you scratch your head sometimes and go, that's a little questionable. Regardless, we don't know the actual truth, and there will be no way to prove it. And at the end of the day, I feel bad for the Florida Mutineers. They've been under flack in so many different circumstances over the past 2 seasons, because we go back to last year, and Awakening has been accused of using a Cronus and cheating and aim hacks, and that's why he's so good. And now Neptune has this come upon him with one of the most decorated veterans in Call of Duty history, and Crimsix being the man coming at him. And we know Crim is very animated and strong about his opinions and will stop at no means to get his point across. So I feel bad for Florida at the end of this for having all these accusations come at them. At the end of the day, we don't know what's true and what's false. I'm not going to side with Crim. I'm not going to side with Neptune. I'm not going to go either way with that. But at the end of the day, it is a GA, and they have them in place for a reason, because they're trying to have the most competitive integrity. I think it makes it difficult if players don't follow these, because then that opens a whole can of worms. If Crim says Neptune's not using auto tac sprint, so why can't I use the AK-47? And then he just pulls that out mid-CDL match and starts smoking everyone, pissing everyone off, and then it's just a free-for-all. That is why the GAs are in place. I've been one against them. Sometimes it sucks, and I feel like they don't promote the most competitive integrity. But when you have guys not following them and going back and forth, that's when a huge gray area happens, and that's when things can go very south for the CDL because everyone will start getting pissed off, using whatever they want, and then guys aren't even going to want to play, and sometimes these guys can have personalities and be divas, and at the end of the day, it will cause a lot of storylines to come out, to be honest, if they start fighting about GAs. But that's the scoop. That's the first blood of what happened between Crimsix and Neptune. I know we all heard it. If you didn't, that's the lowdown on it. I'm always giving it to you. Now it's time to hop into the barracks, news and notes from around the league. Let's talk about league play. We have waited so long to get it as competitors like myself, not a professional competitor, but I love competition at the end of the day. We have waited for league play. We have waited for any competitive form of Call of Duty to the general public. And now we've finally gotten it, and there's a lot of controversy, of course, because why not? Why would it be easy to have a great league play that everyone can agree upon? It's phenomenal, we all love it, and we all go to work with it. It's just not that simple, and it sucks that it's not. Basically, if you have not played league play yet, first of all, there have been professional players who, the ranking system has joked them out of it a little bit. I talked about Awakening in the last segment. He got placed in competitor, which is like the bottom 50% of players. He played his 5 placement matches, dropped to 10 KD, and got placed in competitor. Scump and Karma got placed in Master. Octane is Elite. I think Haggy is in the Master class as well, which is like the top creme de la creme of all the players in Call of Duty. So the first flaw is there. How do you have a professional player that drops into the bottom 50% of all of the general public who play Call of Duty? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense in my opinion, and that's something that needs to get worked upon, if you ask me. Another thing to touch on with league play, and I'm not just going to sit here and knock it the whole time because there are some good things. First of all, we finally have a competitive platform to play upon and sweat when we want to, even though skill-based matchmaking feels like it's still a thing. And I feel like eventually we need to take skill-based matchmaking out of public matches and have them separate only in league play in those ranks once they get fixed, because then I can decide I want to go sweat today and compete and play CDL type style playlists. I'm going to go play league play, or I just want to have some fun. I just got off work. I'm going to go play pubs. But the next thing, the ladder system is not my favorite. I think World War II blessed us with the best league play system that we've ever had throughout Call of Duty. We had an ELO system, and it just made things easier. You could climb through the ranks. You basically earn points to go up, or you lose points to go down. It's like anything else. You look at League of Legends. You go bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, whatever. In Valorant, you have the same thing. You start with iron at the bottom, and then I don't even know what their highest tier is, but it climbs through the ranks like that. Call of Duty has a baseline of that, but it's not the same system where ELO is taken into account and certain things happen to get you promoted or demoted. This is basically rewarding anyone who grinds. I don't have all day, every day to be able to play league play. I'm trying to record the podcast. I'm trying to cast for Call of Duty and elevate my career in the Call of Duty scene as a broadcaster. I don't have hours upon hours to grind league play, because basically what happens is you play the most matches, get the most wins, you climb up the ladder, and then at the end of the cycle of the ladder, you get promoted. Or you stay where you are, stalemated, or even demoted. Back when there was an ELO system in World War II, it made things a lot better, because all you had to do, you play your matches and say you're at like 1,700 ELO, you lose, you go down to 1,500, then you drop a division and you're playing against worse people. Then you win a couple, you go up, and then you're playing against the Scumpies and the Karmas and the Crimsix and the Diamond Cons and the Neptunes and all these professional players. I don't like the ranking system, the way the ladder works, because it rewards people who grind. It doesn't reward people who perform well. The next thing we have to fix in league play is please punish people who screw me over. When I join into a 4v4 and I have a guy who automatically and purposefully team kills me at the start of the match. This happened to me the other day in league play. I'm hype. I have a checkmate hard point. I'm ready to grind. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to win this match and pop off. Right when I start, this idiot with a racist clan tag throws a sticky. He throws a Semtex at me. Boom. Team kills me. I spawn, try to get back to break into P1 because we've lost it because we were at a disadvantage. Same thing. He team kills me intentionally. Does it, and then he starts running around because I think it may be in place where 3 team kills, you get kicked or whatever. I don't even know if that's a rule because it didn't get that far. But what he was doing then was following me around, shooting me twice so I'm weak, and then I can't win any gunfight because I'm at a disadvantage. Figure out a way to stop that. And then when I'm in a 3v4, when I join and it's 4v4 to start, after a minute, one of my teammates is getting fried and just decides to leave, there's a very slim chance we're winning a 3v4. I want a 3v4 garrison control, but it's not going to happen every time. It puts me at a deficit, and it ruins my experience in league play. Figure something out where when we go into a 3v4 or you have some idiot intentionally team killing, chalk the match, pause it, say, hey, we've detected something going on. It's a 3v4. It's unfair. I don't want you to get demoted or drop down in your ladder ranking. We're going to stop this. We'll fill you with a 4th, and then we'll reset it. It's as simple as that. It's like with developing an anti-cheat. I know that I have no idea how to code. I have no idea how to put an algorithm into place to be able to say, hey, just put an anti-cheat in the game. I know it's hard. I know it probably costs millions upon millions of dollars, but this company in Activision and with Call of Duty and Treyarch make billions upon billions of dollars off these games. You would think that in a league play format where we're trying to be competitive, they would be able to weed out cheaters who have wall hacks on or aimbot. And we've still seen it. So for league play to be successful, I think we need to develop an anti-cheat. And on top of that, we need to have a system where if I'm at a disadvantage in a 3v4, or if I have someone team killing me and being toxic, there should be a way to determine this and say, hey, pause the match, stop the match. We're going to fill you at the 4th. We'll restart it so you don't get punished for somebody else. One last thing that I want to touch on about league play. I think once we figure out how to restart a match and reset it when we fall to a 3v4 and you can make everything as perfect as possible, as equal as possible, and have competitive integrity at a peak, I would love to see, instead of me having to play 10 search and destroy matches in a row, the 8 people that join the lobby, so we're in a 4v4 here, the 8 of us that joined the lobby initially, make league play like the CDL. How sick would it be if we got to play a best of 5 rotation? Because I'm not going to lie, I've started to get sick of joining into league play and I have to play search and destroy 10 matches in a row. I want some respawns in my life. I want to drop a 50 bomb, go full streaks, and do all that good stuff against people. It's not great when I have to play search and destroy for 8 to 10 games in a row. So the perfect solution to that problem, make league play like a CDL match. Give us a best of 5. Hardpoint, search, control, hardpoint, search, if it goes the distance. I think the entire competitive community would be behind me and say that that would be so sick. Because when you're sitting down to play league play, you're not just sitting down to play one match and then get offline. Everyone can be invested in a best of 5 series. I think for league play to be its most successful, that is the perfect solution. Make it a CDL best of 5 series and develop a way to bring the World War II ELO system back. We're far behind in our competitive playlist. We're behind League of Legends. We're behind Valorant. We're almost even behind Apex. We can do better, Call of Duty, so let's make it happen and let's do better. The next thing I want to talk about, and this is something that we all begged for and pleaded for and wanted as the Call of Duty community, it's the aesthetics. The in-game skins, we finally got CDL skins, and I think for the most part, they're pretty sick. I was in the store purchasing my CDL skin. We got the charm, calling card, emblem, weapon camo, and those ones are the only real point of conversation to me are the weapon skins. I think they're a little bit lackluster in that department, but we can't complain all around because we got what we were asking for. We wanted weapon skins. We wanted CDL skins. Granted, some of them look like the same design with color schemes, like the Gorillas, Minnesota Rocker, Toronto Ultra, you got all the purple in there. So it's hard to vary and make everything different. The camos are kind of like that for the weapons. It's the purple, white, purple, black look for those. And then the same thing for your Optic or your LA Thieves and your Atlanta FaZe with the black and red, although those skins go hard, to be honest. It's just something about the black and red color scheme that looks absolutely sick. So thank you, Activision and Treyarch, for getting us skins in the game finally. We wanted the CDL skins from the get-go. You answered the call. You gave them to us. We're going to be spending a lot of money in your store throughout the season, trust me. How cool is it in-game, and how good is it for the branding of the Call of Duty League when you're running around if you're just in pubs? Because everyone in League play probably knows what the CDL is. But when I'm running around in pubs with my New York Subliners or Toronto Ultra skin on, some people are going to say, whoa, how'd you get that skin? What is that? And then that introduces them to the Call of Duty League. They sign into YouTube on this opening weekend. Boom. You get new eyes, you get new viewership, you make more money. We're all happy. We're expanding the Call of Duty League, and we want it to be the most popular esport in the world. We got to keep working and doing things like this to get there. And the last thing I'll touch on about the weapon camos, can we get some reactives, please? And also maybe a little bit of customization on either the weapons or the skin, on the player skin. Let me throw, I know we have stickers for the guns. Ding, ding, ding. Let me create my own sticker. Let me put Z-Hack on the side of my gun. Let me put Z-Hack on my forearm right here on my Optic Gaming or my Minnesota Rocker or my New York Subliner skin. So when I see my guy running around the map like this, you can see Z-Hack right there on the cuff. How cool would that be for Call of Duty League fans around the world to be able to have that? How sick would that be for us to have that customization? Just a thought, I'm just throwing it out there. I think it would make things a lot more enjoyable from the aesthetic view for the general public who is playing Call of Duty and who wants to be part of the Call of Duty League this year, who want to watch it, who want to root for their team and want to say, hey, I'm the biggest Call of Duty League fan. Speaking on the weapon skins, let's talk about some IRL stuff. We have gotten the drops for pretty much every single Call of Duty League team and what their uniforms home and away will look like. Initial thoughts, they're pretty sick. I might go bankrupt because I'm going to be spending every paycheck I get on some of these CDL uniforms. Right now, initial reaction, I think the Florida Mutineers jersey goes hard. Optic Gaming, they brought back a little bit of the OG look now that Hector has reacquired everything. It looks sick. You best believe I'm going to grab one of those. LA Thieves, that is dirty. It's a sweet jersey. Minnesota Rocker, the black and purple, there's something about it. Them, Toronto Ultra, and the LA Gorillas, all their uniforms just look sick. Hats off to you. Props for the shop. Everything looks great. I love all the uniforms. I just want LAN so bad. I know we got to wait. We need everyone in our world to get healthy and things to be safe so we can have a LAN environment again. But I want to be able to wear my favorite team's kit or whoever I'm rooting for or whatever outfit looks the sickest. It's like, yeah, I'm going to throw on some joggers in the Mutineers jersey or some joggers in the Minnesota Rocker or some black jeans in the Optic Gaming Championship Sundays. I want to be able to strut that look around a home series. I want to be able to wear that in person, take pictures with all these teams while I'm repping their uniform, get them to autograph it. The Call of Duty League is like any sports league out there. It's like the NFL. If I went to a game, I would get there early so I can try and get LeBron James or Patrick Mahomes or Patrick Kane to sign my jersey that I'm wearing to their respective sport. The Call of Duty League is the same. It's built on fans and the player personalities. I want to be able to be back in person repping these sweet uniforms that the CDL has dropped, going into it and saying, yo, hey, Clayster, can you sign my uniform? Attach. Can you sign this for me? Slasher. Slacked. Scumpy. Formal. Can you sign this for me? Can we take a picture, guys? I know Maven will be out there trying to take pictures with Formal all season long if we were on LAN. Let's just get that out of the way, okay? Because that guy, man, the obsession is real. But I love those guys. So I think that the Call of Duty League, in retrospect, did an incredible job with the drops on all the Call of Duty League team uniforms. And it's going to be great to be able to have home series back. And talking about this will be one of the final topics here in the Barracks news and notes around the league before we get into our predictions for this initial weekend. We might have gotten a little bit of a leak. CDL Intel, I salute you. You guys do a great job finding all this stuff. First of all, Von de Haar had a tweet. I think he had an Atlanta FaZe drop come to him, and there was a card on the desk that CDL Intel zoomed into, and it looked like it could have been a Champs date. That may have been leaked, so we may know when Champs is in particular based off that, or it could just be something random that's out there. And the next thing where we had a possible leak was in the LA Thieves docu-series. Towards the end of it, they were interviewing Temp and talking to him, what would it mean to win this season? And we all know Donnie. We all know his track record, looking for a LAN win. In this interview, he says, I think that Champs especially would mean a lot to be my first LAN victory. Things are getting spicy. Like I talked about, are we going to get the Call of Duty League Texas bubble for Champs only? I know there's no way we're doing it for the whole year. I know we're not pulling it off. We don't have the money to do a bubble and have a LAN event every week for the whole season and for all the majors and all the stage weeks. I know that's not going to happen. But can we get a LAN bubble for Champs? Temp may have just dropped the intel. That excites me so much. If we get Champs on LAN this year, you best believe it's going to be incredible, first of all, and I would hope that they allow fans there if they're able to. If not, if it has to be for competitive integrity, that we're going to have it on LAN, no fans, that's fine. We're still seeing these guys compete, so they can't make the excuse. They can't talk about and say, you're just an online team. Just a bunch of onliners. Nah, you guys can't win on LAN. It's completely different. We aren't going to have that excuse if this happens. I'm looking forward to it if we get Champs on LAN. It's going to be incredible because this is the most competitive the league has ever been, in my opinion. These 12 teams have the best of the best players. I don't know if anyone's going to be trash this year in the Call of Duty League. I think all these teams are shaped up to compete with one another. Obviously, you have some skill gaps at the top tier players. Your Dallas Empire, Optic Chicago, FaZe, Mutineers, LA Thieves, like the top 6 to 8 teams, and Scraps even said it when he was on the eavesdrop with Hex. He said, dude, it's crazy. The amount of skill and talent that's in the league this year is nothing like I've ever seen before. And kudos to the Call of Duty League for that, because the challenger scene is competitively, and it's competitive, incredibly competitive, is what I was trying to say there before I tripped over my own tongue. But the challenger scene is incredible, which just makes the Call of Duty League even better. We're in for an incredible season. Someone coming back to the CDL for the first time in a while from what we know and who we kind of had rumored to be the first one back. It's Haggy. He's coming back to the Call of Duty League. He is a member, it's been announced, of the London Royal Ravens. After Zero is unavailable to compete with visa issues, Haggy was called upon to be the 5th man, and now he's competing, and it's great to see him back in the league. He's been grinding for a lot of time to get his spot back. I remember watching him win championships back on Farico Impact. I've been watching Haggy and following him for a long time, so it feels good to get him back in the league. He grinds, he has passion unlike any other. The only thing is, can he keep his attitude and his ego in check to fill into this team how they need him to fill in? I think he'll be able to make it happen. I think the London Royal Ravens, they're going to be competing. They're going to be one of these teams who may have gotten placed in my power rankings at the beginning of the year at the bottom, but they're going to be able to make some waves and make some noise. And now that you have that veteran leadership and the voice like Haggy, it's going to be special. That's everything we wanted to touch on for the Barracks news and notes from around the league. So without further ado, the opening weekend of the Call of Duty League, hosted by the Atlanta FaZe, Stage 1 begins today. It's upon us, and I couldn't be more excited. Let's hop right into some predictions. Bear with me. Let me get all this good stuff up on the screen so we can figure this out. Here we go. Opening weekend starts today, goes through the 14th, hosted by the Atlanta FaZe, and I could not be more excited. I am stoked for the Call of Duty League to start. We got the Kickoff Classic. We got a little taste of it. It was nice. It was good. It scratched the itch for a little bit, but now the actual competition is here. I heard excuses that the Kickoff Classic, it was glorified scrims. No, it was competition, damn it. You were competing at the end of the day. You're not going to give me that excuse. If you lost, you lost. You better have gone back to the drawing board and been ready for the first weekend of the Call of Duty League. Let's talk about it. First up, this is going to be a firework matchup to start us off here. The LA Thieves take on the Minnesota Rokkr, and you guys all know how I feel about the Minnesota Rokkr. They are my dark horse of the season. I think they're going to be incredible. I think they're going to push for some championships in the majors, and I think that they're going to be able to make some noise at champs this year. This roster was absolute highway robbery to be able to get a couple of the guys off of FaZe and then accuracy and attach. You got Major Maniac and Priesta to go along with those two. I think the Rokkr are just a better S&D team right now in this point of the season. And before I give all my predictions, I'm going to go on and say this. Listen, predictions are hard to make for this first weekend because we really don't know where anyone stands. We saw the Kickoff Classic, but other than that, it's just been word of mouth of what's happening in scrims. Not all these teams have been streaming scrims. We just have the Kickoff Classic and our previous intuition and knowledge of last season and what's been going on so far. That's all we have to go off of for our predictions. I'm not making any excuses, and on top of that, I want you guys to get into everything with me. On the Call of Duty League, they're making things fun. They had the Pick'em at Champs last year. Well, they're doing it again this year, but for the whole season. Make sure you guys join my private leaderboard, okay? It's pick'em.callofdutyleague.com. The leaderboard name, it's The Rotation with ZHack. All spelled out, okay? The Rotation with ZHack, ZHACK. The password to get into it is rotation with a capital R. I'll tell you what, there's going to be a nice prize at the end of the season for a winner. I'm not going to spoil it just yet. But just to tease that out, make sure you guys join it, okay? Pick'em.callofdutyleague.com. The leaderboard name is The Rotation with ZHack. The password is rotation with a capital R. Make sure you join and make your picks today before the first one kicks off. But my prediction for this first match, LA Thieves, it's so good to have them back in the Call of Duty League. We got TJ, Slasher, Quavo, and Temp. Liticote teams, they've been well-renowned throughout the Call of Duty scene for years and years, but they take a little bit longer to get started and learn the game. We've had like a 4-month break, though. There's been plenty of time to learn. They got smoked by Optic in the Kickoff Classic. I think they've learned from those mistakes that they've made, but ultimately I think that the Minnesota Rokkr are the better team in this matchup. I think the Minnesota Rokkr end up taking this match. We're going to go 3-2. Is my prediction for the Minnesota Rokkr here. The next one in the final matchup of Thursday, I don't think that it's going to be pretty. I really don't. I've talked about the Seattle Surge and said that I think they're going to be a lot better of a team than they were last season. Octane is a great starting point and a foundation for this team to build on. Gunless is disgusting and has been in 4v4 forever. Pristini plays with passion, and Looney has been a stellar player throughout his career. I don't discredit what these guys are doing over at Seattle. But at the end of the day, Empire are the best team in the league. I think Empire and Optic are 1-2 right now. And I think that Empire are going to take this in an extremely big fashion. It could be a 3-0. And that's what I'm going to say. I was still making my prediction there, but I think the Dallas Empire are going to 3-0 the Seattle Surge today. They're just too good. Illy, Hook, Shotzi, and Crimsix. Shotzi, Hook, and Illy are just menaces on the map. And Crimsix, he's still got a fire under his ass, and he's performing like it's his first day, and he has a lot to prove. The Dallas Empire are absolutely disgusting, and I think they take this one pretty easily. Next up, we got to move over to Friday. First match is, all right, let's get this out of the way. Are we calling them Optic Chicago or Chicago Optic? Because everyone else, we're putting the name first. Minnesota Rocker, LA Thieves, Dallas Empire, Seattle Surge. So I think it's Chicago Optic, but I've seen Optic Chicago go all over the place. Regardless, we know who we're talking about. Matty Piper, Seth Abner, Dylan Hannon, and the man, Bruce Dashy. This roster is disgusting. But I'll tell you what, the Paris Legion, I mean, you can't discredit any team that has Matty Marshall on it. Scraps, Aqua, Fire, and Classic, they're underrated and a quiet, disgusting team. Optic has said it. They said, hey, these guys are pretty good. They're pretty gross. At the end of the day, I think Optic is just better. Their respawns are too clean, and they've gotten a lot better at search and destroy. They're gelling as a unit now, and I think they're going to perform really well for the entire season. It just depends. Can they hit their stride when it matters in the majors and champs? Regardless, Optic, I have them taking this one 3-1 over the Paris Legion. While I look at the bracket right now, I think I may have answered my own question. It says Optic Chicago, while every other team has the city name first. So I think we're going Optic Chicago is what the name is. They're taking it 3-1. Next up, as we pound through these really quick, Atlanta FaZe versus LAG. Atlanta FaZe, they showed some weakness in the armor in the Kickoff Classic. They lost to the Mutineers 3-2, and Florida looks really good. I think they're a top 3 team, the Florida Mutineers. They're going to be battling the 3 and 4 spot with the Atlanta FaZe. Regardless, I think that these guys are too good at what they do. I think Crowder is too good of a coach. And I think at the end of the day, Atlanta FaZe are going to win this matchup 3-1. Arcides is stellar. Simp is one of the best in the game, possible MVP. Celium and Abizi, they're disgusting. The Tiny Tears. Those guys are gross. Atlanta FaZe take it 3-1 over LAG, but LAG, they looked good opening weekend against Seattle. Apathy is a 4v4 god. Silly has been there before. Assault, and then now Vivid. Young and a stud. Watch out for LAG this season. I don't think they're going to be able to get it done in this matchup. And the next matchup on Saturday, the first of the day, the Gorillas go right back at it and take on the Paris Legion. I think this will be incredibly close. It's going to go the distance. It's going to go all 5 maps. We might even see a round 11. But at the end of the day, I think Paris just edge out LA Gorillas and take it 3-2. The next matchup there is a good one. This one will be one to highlight, one to watch. 4:30 Eastern on Saturday. The Mutineers of Florida take on the Toronto Ultra. Zinni has his team in check. The Ultra are star-studded with talent. I think Kleenex and Cammy have an opportunity to run this league eventually. I don't think it's going to be done in this matchup. I think Skies, hint, hint, is possibly the best AR in the Call of Duty League right now. Awakening at his side, those two are a dynamic duo. You had the young gun Neptune and the veteran Slacked, who just finds a way to win every 4v4. Plain and simple. Jerry knows how to win. This team is stellar. I think they're top 3. I think they're right behind Empire and Optic, and then they're tied up there. It's them and FaZe. I think the Florida Mutineers end up taking this one 3-1. Next up, we have our Game Fuel marquee matchup of Saturday. New York Subliners, LA Thieves. I think this one is going to be tight, despite the issues that New York has with visas and trying to get players back. Diamond Khan showed that he has a lot of potential in the Kickoff Classic. After they got their first match in, I'm sure they went back to the drawing board. They went back to VOD review. Clayster, Asim, Mac, all these guys talked it over, and they found a little bit of a stride. They're going up against the LA Thieves. I think this gets LA Thieves their first win of the season. I say it goes the distance, 3-2. The LA Thieves take down the Subliners. Now we're into Sunday, the final day of this weekend. Royal Ravens take on the Seattle Surge. This one will be tight. It's Haggie's first performance back in the Call of Duty League in a long time. It'll be fun to watch him on this roster. We talked about Haggie coming back and joining the London Royal Ravens as the 5th man while Zero figures out his visa issues. So it's Shawnee, Parasite, Dylan, and Alex. On the flip side of things, they're taking on that Seattle Surge, the team who I think will step up and also I think have one of the dopest uniforms in the Call of Duty League. I think that the Seattle Surge are able to squeeze this out. It's going to come down to the search and destroys. I think they'll split a hard point, controls up in the air, and then it's who wins the map 5. I think it will be the Seattle Surge. 3-2. I have them taking it. Next up on Sunday, I love this matchup. This one, circling on the calendar, putting it in bold letters. I have to watch this on Sunday. Minnesota Rokkr against the Dallas Empire. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The Rokkr are a sneaky good team. We'll see how they look in their respawns, and it's going to be the ultimate test going up against Dallas Empire, one of the best respawn teams in the league. I think the Rokkr are a great search and destroy team. They have the talent. They have the leadership. They have the skill. But how will they perform in the hard points against one of the best team and the control against one of the best teams in the Call of Duty League? I'm hoping for a lot of Game 5s this season in one of the most exciting Call of Duty leagues and seasons that we've ever had. And I think it's what we'll have again on Sunday. We're going back-to-back map 5s. The Dallas Empire will win this match, however. 3-2. The Empire will end 2-0 on the weekend by taking on the Minnesota Rokkr. They'll beat them in the second one, and they'll smoke Seattle Surge in the first. Last season, we had to wait 6 weeks, 6 events to get FaZe and Optic? Or, well, FaZe and Huntsman, rather. But the boys from the original Optic. Now Hector's reacquired it, and we get it in the first weekend. Opening weekend hosted by Atlanta FaZe. Their final matchup is another Game Fuel marquee matchup. It's FaZe versus Optic Chicago. I know the names are there, and I know it's the matchup and the rivalry everyone wants. I don't think it will be as close as everyone believes. Optic is too good at 4v4, and all their guys are hitting their stride at the right time to start this season off. Envoy's disgusting. Dashy popped off in the Kickoff Classic, and T2P are meshing like they never have before. While we love the rivalry, and it's going to be built up on the broadcast, I think Optic Chicago smoke FaZe and take it 3-1. That's my bold prediction and my strongest one of the weekend. That's how opening weekend is going to end. Those are all my predictions. And remember, go to pick'em.callofdutyleague.com and get in my pool, okay? It's the Rotation with ZHack. The password is rotation with a capital R. Make sure you get in while you can. Get in all your predictions before the season starts, and let's have a good Call of Duty year. Now, the last thing that we got to do, just like we do on every other show, well, you guys already know what's coming. You guys already know what's about to happen, and I don't even have to tell you. What do we got to do? Go ahead and tell them, Scumpy. Who's the best in the game? Who's the best in the game? Hopefully, one day presented by a sponsor. You saw me tease it at the beginning of the podcast. We love our guys at Scuff Gaming, Turtle Beach, Ben Q. You never know. Come on through. Sponsor the Rotation. We'd love to have you regardless. I'll get out of there. I'll get out of my shameless plugs. And we're going to talk about who's the best in the game. I teased it earlier. I said, hint, hint. It's the man himself, Caesar Skies. He is the best AR, hands down, coming into the opening weekend. Skies and Awakening are the dynamic duo that nobody wants to mess with in the Call of Duty League. They're the reason why Florida Mutineers are a top 3 team, in my opinion. Skies is disgusting. He's going to have a huge KD on opening weekend. On top of that, he'll play the OBJ well and put his team in situations that will allow them to succeed. Hands down, I believe it. Skies is the best in the game right now. That does it for this episode of The Rotation with ZHack. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, no matter where it is. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. You know where to find me. Make sure you follow me on all social media at ZHack16. That's ZHACK16. And make sure you spread the Call of Duty League to everyone. If you have a friend or family member who just loves Call of Duty, doesn't know about the Call of Duty League, share the podcast with them. Let's get them on board with the Call of Duty League. Get them to fall in love just like all of us are. And we appreciate you guys so much for all the support that you've shown. Once again, This has been episode number 3 of The Rotation with Z-Hack, and I thank you all for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, and share the podcast with everyone. And until next time, everyone have a great opening weekend. It starts in about 4 hours. Let's get into it. Happy opening weekend hosted by the Atlanta FaZe, everyone. It's been The Rotation with Z-Hack. We'll see you next time. Peace.